Aftermath. Floyd is gone, but in its wake, massive damage, historic flooding, thousands stranded. Now, round-the-clock rescue operations. How much will all of this cost? In depth tonight, young heroes, the teenagers who saved others during the Texas church shooting, putting their own bodies in the line of fire. And a new breed of air delay, coyotes on the runways of a small Nevada airport.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. Well, today the eastern seaboard was awash in sunshine, blue skies, pleasant temperatures, and the wreckage of Floyd, the hurricane that came ashore in the Carolinas, proceeded up the coast as a giant rain and wind machine saturating all on its path. The entire eastern section of North Carolina was especially hard hit. Up north, parts of New Jersey were inundated by floodwaters. It's been a deadly and expensive 3 days. We begin tonight with NBC Jim Avila in North Carolina. Jim?
Tom, it's a critical situation here in North Carolina. All across the eastern part of the state, towns like this one, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, are split in two by floodwaters. In fact, Interstate 95, the main north-south route, is closed between the Virginia border and Fayetteville. And for thousands tonight, the only way to get out of their homes is by boat or helicopter. 500 feet above the flooded North Carolina lowcountry, the mission for Navy pilot Pierre Granger and his crew of 4 helped rescue more than 1,500 stranded victims of Hurricane Floyd. Tarboro, a town now surrounded by water, rescue teams from the Navy and the local sheriff's department dropped from the sky to pull a couple in their 70s from the last remaining high ground. Moments later, the rescue diver back in the floodwaters. This time, 2 men stranded on their front porch, hoisted to safety.
I had never seen so much water in my life.
Rescue after rescue, people lining up, waiting for help. Nearly everyone in the town of 20,000 trapped by high water and no warning. The mayor, who can only be reached by phone, says the storm knocked out 911 service.
It's hard to get a lot of word out to people here in town as to what's going on. Then along with losing electricity in town and not having drinking water, it's just devastated everyone.
A statewide emergency. Every branch of the armed forces employing 9 different kinds of helicopters. Across North Carolina, more than 15 inches of rain, more than 88 roads closed, 34,000 people in shelters. Especially hard hit, Dunbar. Fast rising water traps this trucker overnight. The Coast Guard pulls him to safety, hoisting him out of his flooded cab. 15 miles to the west, the city of Rocky Mount, population 50,000. The Tar River up over its banks, flooding streets and forcing 2 days of evacuations. Samuel and Dorothy Gilliam, both in their upper 80s, brought out this afternoon by firefighters who carry them to safety. Dorothy calls them angels.
And when the angels came by, we thought we better come.
This is Cloverdale Drive, main street in this community. It's 2 blocks away from the actual river, but the water here is 8 feet deep, and it has a current. The city calling for every available private boat to join the rescue operation. Raymond and Nanny Arrington rescued by firefighters after braving 2 days without power, phone service, or clean water.
I needed to hook up my asthma machine, and I couldn't do it.
Today, more than 300 air rescues, 50 in this helicopter alone. And below, running from the Carolina floodwaters, an estimated 1,000 others still waiting for help. When Floyd hit, the experts told us that it would be the water and not the wind that would do the most damage. And tonight, North Carolina is feeling it. Tom?
Thanks very much, NBC Jim Avila. While most of the northeastern states in the path of Floyd were relieved today, the damage wasn't greater. New Jersey awoke this morning to this, an unexpected disaster, widespread flooding, and all the grief that comes with it. President Clinton has declared the state a disaster area. More tonight from NBC's Pat Dawson.
As dawn breaks, the first frightening scenes. Along the banks of the Raritan River, a nightmare of flood and fire. For firefighters, a struggle to get water to the fire. For hundreds of people trapped in their homes, only one way out.
How many are in there?
The water came suddenly late last night. A foot of rain, normal for 3 months, in just hours. Overnight, the Raritan rises quickly, reaching 14 feet above flood stage.
My goodness, it was deep. I mean, when the fellow, the National Guard person, stood, he was up to about his chest.
The same stories repeated again and again through this quiet town of 10,000 on the river. The sudden rush of water, the dash for an upper floor or a roof. But the real terror is reserved for those caught between the rising water and spreading flames. By midday, the fire is out. The water has only begun to recede, and John and Nadine Warner are waiting to measure their loss. For 65 years, the Boundbrook Inn has been in the family. Last night, John stayed, hoping to save a small piece of the town's history and a big piece of his life.
And all of a sudden, it just started roaring.
The inn has survived here since the 1700s. Now the water has taken the entire first floor. The financial loss will be serious. The emotional loss could be devastating.
A lot of hard years put into the business and a lot of years of this happening and rebuilding and fixing up.
But the Warners, like many people here, have vowed to rebuild.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
A lot of people here face hard choices about whether to stay in their homes or evacuate. Tonight, news of the first two fatalities, a 75-year-old woman and her son who chose to stay and died in their apartment. Tom?
Thanks very much, NBC's Pat Dawson tonight. Floyd was an unusual storm in many ways. Its enormous size, the number of towns and cities it hit, the amount of money it will cost. NBC's Robert Hager tonight on that story.
Hurricane Floyd could wind up costing $3 to $4 billion, an unusually large percentage, nearly half of it, coming right out of the pockets of the victims, not covered by insurance or federal aid. Why? Two reasons that make this hurricane different from most. First, the greatest damage by far will be flood damage, and a lot of people don't have flood insurance. Second, this was the biggest evacuation in history, and evacuation expenses aren't covered by insurance unless your neighborhood suffers damage. The spread of flooding, immense, probably $2 billion worth, from South Carolina all the way north to Maine. But only one of every 4 homeowners in vulnerable floodplains buys insurance, and some underwater tonight couldn't even buy it if they wanted, because it's only offered by the government, and only where communities have already spent money on flood protection. As for evacuations, more than 1 million people in places the storm did not hit, in Florida, Georgia, and parts of South Carolina, won't be covered by insurance either. But other losses are insured, the industry's Steve Goldstein.
Our preliminary estimates show the damage somewhere around $800 million.
Hard-hit communities like Oak Island, North Carolina, at the very center of the storm. 81-year-old Beulah Black loses her home.
It was devastating.
Other expenses for emergency workers, those dramatic rescues, overtime for police, and $500 million pledged by the government for relief. Some of the expense will be recouped later when rebuilding stimulates local economies in hard-hit areas. And all told, the total cost of this storm will be way less than history's most expensive, hurricanes like Hugo and Andrew. But it's by far this year's most expensive, with another 2 months of hurricane season still to come. Robert Hager, NBC News, Washington.
And still churning in the Atlantic tonight, Hurricane Gert. It's carrying top winds of 130 miles an hour. By Sunday, it could threaten Bermuda. The good news for the United States, on its current track, Gert is moving away from the eastern coast of the U.S. When we come back, young heroes, NBC News in depth tonight. They put their lives on the line as a gunman opened fire in their church.
Well, as soon as he came in and started shooting, I grabbed Benji and my best friend, and I just pushed him. We got on the ground, underneath the pew.
Terror in a holy place. Heroes who came to the rescue of friends. Tonight's in-depth report. And Russia under siege. Who's behind the deadly explosions? The desperate search for clues and suspects in a wave of terrorism.
So, Jane told me about your cholesterol.
I know.
Dad struggled with that, too.
Yeah, but Dad didn't have this. My doctor told me about it.
Butter?
No, it's completely different. It's Benecol.
New Benecol reduces bad cholesterol up to 14% and starts to work in just 2 weeks.
My cholesterol's gone down 20 points. This Benecol really works.
Mm.
It really felt good getting those test results.
You never did well on tests.
I did too.
Did not.
New Benecol spreads and dressings, a delicious way to reduce cholesterol.
Did too.
If you wear dentures, imagine how nervous teaching teenagers could make you feel. What if your dentures slipped? But thanks to the all-day hold of Super Polygrip, those days are over. I think that says a lot about the power of Polygrip.
Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
3 things I always do before I barbecue ribs. Whip up my secret hot sauce, get the coals just right, and I always take a Pepsid AC.
Whatever's cooking, Pepsid AC can stop heartburn before it starts.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy a Gateway Essential PC for $899. Or you can buy a PC from a bargain basement company for $499. Then add a monitor, lots of software, 24/7 tech support, a year on the internet, and end up paying over...
New tonight at 6 on Northwest News Channel 8. There's no clowning around at the Pendleton Roundup. Get a first-hand look at what it's really like to be a bullfighter. Tonight at 6 on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
The countdown to 2000 in Pioneer Courthouse Square has begun.
To Moscow.
We try to tell the men to beware. I need to have children. It's important to find the right girl.
Will they find happiness or heartache?
Angelica, will you marry me?
From Russia with love? Dateline Friday, 10/9 Central on NBC.
NBC News in depth tonight. In the line of fire, the deadly shooting spree in the Texas church this week. Tonight there are new details about the gunman. Larry Ashbrook was on active duty in the Navy for almost 7.5 years. He was thrown out in 1983 for smoking marijuana. Earlier this year, he called a reporter at a Fort Worth newspaper and told him, among other things, that he fantasized about serial killers. Then Wednesday night, before Ashbrook turned his gun on himself, a group of brave young people came face to face with terror in a sacred place. NBC's Jim Cummins now, in depth, a story of courage.
The instant the gunman began shooting inside the Wedgwood Baptist Church, most people took cover or ran. But 17-year-old Mary Beth Talley's first instinct was to protect her friend, Heather McDonald, who has Down syndrome.
Heather didn't understand. She doesn't understand what's going on.
So Mary Beth pulled her down and jumped between Heather and the bullets. One of the slugs struck Mary Beth in the shoulder.
One of my thoughts was like, I've been shot. Keep Heather down. I need to get out of here. I've been hurt. I need an ambulance. My thing was just, Heather, you gotta stay quiet. Just stay down here with me. Just stay down here with me. She kept trying to sit up, and I mean, that have drawn attention to herself, and she could have been shot, and I don't know, but I just did what needed to be done, and there were other people who were huddling over other people. I think I was taught to put other people first.
A bullet whistled right by my head. I mean, you could smell the gunpowder. We were really, really close.
Glenn Busey, also 17, got between his brother Benji and the gunman.
He just points his gun up at me and Benji, and he just starts shooting like crazy. He shot his whole clip off just at us in the back row.
When the shooting was over, this school kid didn't seek help for himself. Instead, he worked with paramedics to evacuate the wounded.
I was just praying with a couple of the kids and just trying to help them out and help the paramedics out, whatever they needed me to do. I saw people die. You know, I was working right along with the paramedics and stuff. It's like, whoa, you know, it really scares you. It makes you think. How quickly I could be dead, just like that. He was pointing it right at us.
And then there's 16-year-old Justin Laird, a football star at his high school. Friends say Justin, a big kid, saved lives by pushing them down onto the floor when the bullets began to fly. 2 of the bullets struck Justin, 1 in the back. His father, John, rushed to the hospital emergency room the night of the shooting.
For y'all that don't know me, I'm John Laird. I'm Justin's dad.
Then he spoke to Justin's friends at their church.
He has no feeling in his lower part of his body. Right now they're going to start trying to do therapy on him. He never once asked, why God? Why me? Or why God, why did it had to happen? He never accused anybody of it, even the gentleman that did the shooting. He said he was not angry at the guy. He's not angry at God.
Mary Beth Talley, Glenn Busey, and Justin Laird, 3 heroes in the midst of terror. Jim Cummins, NBC News, Dallas.
Coming up next, a new political controversy. President Clinton and those Puerto Rican terrorists. Congress wants to know why he freed them and what happens when some wily coyotes take up residence on an airport runway.
Something amazing happened here in
Colorado,
Illinois,
Connecticut, and California. I ate Quaker oatmeal for 30 days. So did I. It helped lower my cholesterol 12 points. 22 points.
Oh, man! We ate ours with raisins.
applesauce.
Sauerkraut.
Really?
Really? 12 points. It's oatmeal across America. Yee-haw.
Quaker oatmeal warms your heart and soul.
Thanks for making a leave.
For almost 5 years, I had a hard time walking. I went from doctor to doctor, but even after surgery, I had some pain. Tylenol worked for a while, then quit, and the pain came back. Finally, a doctor suggested Aleve. Within a week, I was dancing all night like I hadn't done in years.
Aleve can stop pain all day with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that.
Now people say I'm a walking advertisement for Aleve.
All day strong, all day long.
If heaven were a beach, you'd have the bluest skies, the warmest waves, and Red Lobster's ultimate feast. Lobster tail, snow crab legs, shrimp scampi, and golden fried butterfly shrimp. Escape to Red Lobster.
Now our first denture cleanser keeps dentures feeling clean all day. New Fix-It-Ent with ProGuard, a breakthrough tablet and bath system. First, place your dentures into the bath and release the power of ProGuard to get them 4 times cleaner. Then you lift the inner basket to help seal in the clean with the ProGuard barrier, protecting against plaque and odor-causing bacteria from morning till night. Fix-It-Ent with ProGuard. Start cleaner, stay cleaner.
You've dreamed of opening your own place. Now stay healthy and energetic and enjoy it. Give your life a silver lining with Centrum Silver. Its age-essential nutrients may help maintain your immunity and help keep your heart healthy. Give your life a silver lining with Centrum Silver. Why do people love squirrels but hate rats? They're both rodents, and yet the squirrel is tolerated, downright beloved. Why? Does that cute, fuzzy tail make that much of a difference? Absolutely. Introducing the all-new 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Nicely equipped at 17.7. Further proof that looks do matter.
Sunday, Russia, Korea, hotspots around the world. Sandy Berger talks to Tim Russert. Plus, the president blocks Congress on investigating clemency for terrorists on Meet the Press.
It's Like Today, only later. Later today, weekdays on NBC.
After a half-century of poisonous relations and a very costly war, the United States and North Korea tonight are moving cautiously to a new stage. Only days after the Koreans announced they would not test a new missile capable of hitting Alaska and Hawaii, the United States said today at the White House that the U.S. will now ease trade and travel sanctions with the North Koreans. And tonight in Washington, the Republican Congress and the Clinton administration are at it again, this time over President Clinton's decision to free Puerto Rican nationalists. The White House today refused to hand over records about that decision. NBC's Lisa Myers tonight.
While 11 Puerto Rican terrorists celebrate their first days of freedom, the president now confronts a firestorm in Congress for refusing to turn over potentially embarrassing documents on how and why he freed them. Today, House Chairman Dan Burton prepares a subpoena, this time for Justice Department officials and documents. So far, the president has given Congress only letters to him urging the terrorist release, claiming all else is covered by executive privilege.
By claiming executive privilege, which he has a right to do, I think he's deliberately hiding this from the American people who have a right to know.
A powerful senator promises the Senate will even take the president to court if necessary to reveal what happened.
This president has allowed known terrorists to go free in spite of the request by the law enforcement people.
Constitutional experts say that legally the president is on solid ground, but that claiming executive privilege on this issue is the political equivalent of taking the fifth. They say it looks bad. Today, a White House spokesman dismisses it all as politics, says Republicans prefer investigating the president to solving the nation's problems.
They are dogged in their belief and their theology that the best politics are attack politics.
But this time, it's not just Republicans. Democrats are outraged, too. Even faithful allies say Clinton should turn over documents.
I hope the committee will learn more about its motivation and the process so that it is never repeated.
What about voters? An NBC News poll finds 74% disapprove of the president's decision. And another poll shows most believe he did it to help his wife's Senate campaign in New York. That makes this one of the few issues that hurts both Clintons and helps Republicans, which means it won't end anytime soon. Lisa Myers, NBC News, the Capitol.
And in Russia, Moscow remains a city under siege tonight with another explosion now confirmed as a terrorist bomb. NBC's Dana Lewis has been out with the Moscow police.
Police in hot pursuit. A massive dragnet in Russia. Every way into Moscow now sealed. 11,000 people rounded up in less than a week. With 4 apartment buildings leveled, close to 300 killed, the pressure is intense. A 24-hour-a-day manhunt.
The target, terrorists. The fear another bomb could go off any moment. But this is a city of 11 million people. There's a lot of territory to cover, and the police know the clock is ticking.
We can't stop every car. We're not traffic cops, he says, but we stop anything that looks suspicious. The only way to do it. Today, 2 prime suspects arrested. Police say they detected explosive residue on their hands, an apparent link to the bombs. Another possible break. Police find 4 tons of sugar in a garage. The explosive material called RDX is hidden inside. The police believe the sugar would throw off bomb-sniffing dogs. This police captain tells NBC News the discovery is alarming. They have information that 36 more bags filled with explosives are missing, enough to blow up 6 apartment buildings. The government is certain they are looking for Islamic rebels from the south. So they order everyone, men and women from that region, to verify their identity papers. Many jailed say they are unfairly targeted. They're scaring everyone. It's terrible, he says. But the city remains on edge. A bomb could go off anywhere. Civilian patrols are formed to guard apartment buildings. Now the FBI is sending experts in explosives and forensics to join Russian police in the hunt. A new weapon in Russia's war on terrorism. Dana Lewis, NBC News, Moscow.
Back in this country on Wall Street tonight, after a week of steep dives, the Dow Jones Industrial Average ended up more than 66 points today. The NASDAQ also was up almost 63 points. But for the week, both were down. The Dow lost more than, just under 225 points. NASDAQ lost more than 17 points on the week. In Washington today, there was a solemn ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown. Defense Secretary William Cohen dedicated a new inscription at the tomb that once held the remains of a fallen soldier from the Vietnam War. Last year, those remains were identified with the help of DNA technology. Now, carved into the empty tomb, the words, quote, honoring and keeping faith with America's missing servicemen. I'll be right back at the airport with some unticketed visitors.
Frogs do not have the active response system. And it shows. Only the Alero has the active response system. 16 features working together to connect you to the road. Of course, if a frog wanted to know more about the active response system, this is where he'd turn. Alero by Oldsmobile. Start something.
Got heartburn up in your chest and throat? Only Gaviscon Liquid forms a soothing, protective barrier that helps keep acid down. Something Malox and Mylanta can't do. Gaviscon Liquid. It helps keep acid down where it belongs.
Mentadent's new Surround toothbrush isn't for everyone, just people who think every tooth deserves special attention. Its outer base moves while its bristles wrap and surround teeth for a clean so complete you can feel it. New Mentadent Surround, meant to be different.
Feeling down? Overwhelmed? Now, to help you lift your spirits and look on the bright side naturally, there's Quanterra Emotional Balance. I used to think all St. John's words were alike, but they're not. The extract in Quanterra was clinically proven effective by doctors, and research suggests it regulates neurotransmitters affecting emotional wellness. New Quanterra Emotional Balance. There is light at the end of the tunnel. If it's not clinically proven, it's not Quanterra.
You've got to be quick to keep up with them. Quicker to help protect them. That's why Lysol disinfectant spray works in 30 seconds to kill 99.9% of germs. No spray works faster than Lysol spray. You have our word on it.
Can you believe it? My husband, Nolan Ryan, has arthritis. So his doctor says stay active and take Advil to make it easier. I take it for my arthritis pain, so we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain.
Something amazing happened here in
Colorado,
Illinois,
Connecticut, and California. I ate Quaker oatmeal for 30 days. So did I. It helped lower my cholesterol 12 points. 22 points. Oh, man!
We ate ours with raisins.
Applesauce.
Sauerkraut.
Really?
Really? 12 points. It's oatmeal across America.
Yee-haw.
Quaker oatmeal warms your heart and soul.
They are the sights, sounds, and stories of the people who change our world and shape our lives.
Headliners and Legends with Matt Lauer premieres September 27th on MSNBC.
This weekend, go out on a limb. Join the adventures with National Geographic Explorer. This weekend on CNBC.
Most airports in America worry about weather problems or parking at the terminal or getting travelers to stand on the right on those moving sidewalks. Well, tonight, NBC's Roger O'Neill takes us to an airport with an especially unruly and uncooperative group of pesky visitors.
So here's the problem. A sunbathing coyote enjoying a warm runway. Call it a family ritual. Not a big problem until Tahoe Air Flight 101 tries to land.
The airplane weighs 100,000 pounds and it's going 100 knots.
That's 115 miles an hour. Very limited choices and a bad surprise.
You can't dodge for coyotes.
Nothing so serious yet at the Lake Tahoe Airport, but a couple of pilots have had to wait for the sunbathers to finish their trademark yip and howl. You'd think the solution to this nuisance, get rid of the coyotes.
It's a mess.
But then you haven't met Cheryl Milham with Lake Tahoe Wildlife Care.
The quick fix is mostly what people do nowadays, which would be trap and kill. But it won't work.
Because around here, wildlife is pretty special, and even coyotes have friends.
Let them get a tan for now, as long as it's not disrupting the actual flights.
Cut the coyotes a break. It's not the coyotes' fault.
I think we ought to just get a roadrunner.
Beep, beep.
Every cartoon watcher knows Warner Brothers' sneaky but hapless hunter, Wile E. Coyote. In Lake Tahoe, even Wiley would find the pickings so easy. At the airport, an abundant food supply and terrific places to raise pups. And 215 holes in the fence. Well, that just makes it irresistible. With commercial air service, you'd expect the FAA to want a coyote-free environment. You're right.
The airport doesn't want to kill the coyotes. The airport has to get rid of the coyotes. It's a safety issue. Even one coyote on an airport is a safety issue.
A better fence will certainly keep the coyotes away from the airport for a while, but they are a resourceful animal, and this is their home. There has been one new suggestion. Feed the animals. Airline food. They'll never come back.
But for now, a $200,000 fence fix is the way the airport plans to fix the coyotes. Roger O'Neill, NBC News, Lake Tahoe.
That's Nightly News for Friday. Dateline tonight at 10, 9 Central Time. I'm Tom Brokaw. I'll see you back here Monday.
Nightly News is a presentation of NBC News. More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world. From KGW, where the news comes first, this is Northwest News Channel 8 at 6.
The Columbia River. It unites Washington and Oregon. Now, Governor John Kitzhaber says the Northwest should take control of the Columbia's future. However, his plan could touch off a war between the states. Hello, I'm Joe Donlin, in tonight for Carol Jensen.
And I'm Tracy Berry. Thanks for being with us. Our top story, an idea that could someday change the flow of the Columbia River and eventually your power bill. News Channel 8's environmental reporter Gary Chittum is in Sky 8 over the Columbia tonight to explain. Gary?
Tracy, this is a story we've been anticipating for quite some time, but it's unfolding in a very odd way. The governor decided to go public with this very controversial plan during a luncheon in Seattle.